Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's podcast. It is a pre-lab for the lab we're doing in class tomorrow, which is pretty simple. And you can see on the left here, I have a GLX simulator. It's actually mirroring the handheld that I have in front of me right now. And over on the right, the procedure. Now, this lab's pretty easy to do. There's no sensors to connect to this. We're just using the built-in sound sensor on the GLX. And procedure, if you just follow that, it's real simple, it's real short. So the first thing you want to do here is hit the F4 key. And that'll bring up a sensor menu. Then you want to hit the F3 key to bring up your microphones. Press up until you get to the sound sensor. Then hit the check mark button. And it's going to bring up a screen where you can change settings, but we're going to leave all the settings as they are. So next you want to hit the home key to go back to the home screen. And then we want to go to graph, so we hit F1. And you get something like this. Next step, you want to hit the F4 key to go to graphs and press down until you get to scope mode. Then you want to hit the check mark key. So now we have a graph that looks like this. Sound wave on our y-axis and time in milliseconds on the x-axis. And be careful when you're doing your calculations, because this time is in milliseconds. You're probably going to want to convert that to seconds in the end. So we're going to do things a little differently than it says under the record data section. We're not going to whistle into the microphone because you get some really funky looking graphs whenever you do that. So we're going to use tuning forks instead, because they produce a nice semi-even sound wave. Nothing's ever perfect. You're still going to have like all kinds of jaggedy noise like left in there. But the tuning fork works much better. So when everybody gets everything all set up, come up to me as a group, like in one group at a time, and we'll use different tuning forks for different groups. And we're also going to make sure we write down what number tuning fork, or what letter, I'm sorry, the tuning fork that we have on your lab page. So I'll hit the tuning fork, and after I hit the tuning fork is when you hit the record button, this button right here. So I'm going to hit the tuning fork first, and then hit record. Let it go for a couple seconds, and then hit the recording key again to stop the recording. Now, this doesn't look very good, so we're going to auto scale by hitting F1. And you get something that looks like this. I don't know what this junk is here at the ends. But the rest of this looks pretty good. It's actually a pretty decent result what you're going to get. And for the rest of it, you just want to follow the analysis part of the procedure. So we're going to use this graph here to find the period of the sound. And from the period, we're going to determine the frequency. And from the frequency and the speed of sound in air, we're going to use 344. We're going to calculate the wavelength. So what you want to do is just follow the analysis. We already pressed F1 to auto scale, and now we want to hit F4 again and select data cursor. Hit the check mark button, and it should do this. Then we're going to want to go down. We're going to use the left arrow key. Oh. And for some reason, it didn't do it. Data cursor. There we go. Might have to go to scope mode first, hit the check button, and then go back to data cursor and hit the check button. Because you want to get this little circle here, so we can scroll it around on our graph. So we're going to find the beginning of a wave cycle. So it's probably easiest to pick one that's right on the line. So we're going to pick one right about there, we'll say. That's going to be the beginning of our wave. And one complete cycle is when this wave will return to that position. So it's going to go down, up, and back down. So it's going to be right there at the end. Now we want to open the Tools menu, F3, and we're going to select the Delta tool, scrolling down to it and hitting the check button. So now we're going to scroll over to the right until we get to that other end of the wave cycle, which is going to be right about there. And you're going to see it gives you a time here. This is your delta, 0.004 seconds. Now this will be the period of the wave. And from there, you can find all your other stuff. Like I said, pretty easy lab. We're going to do this a couple times, different tuning forks each time. And there's just a little lab report at the end, nothing much. Should be pretty easy. We'll have some fun. We'll make some annoying noises. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.